All right, this one goes back to 1995. So Monica was just 14 years old. She's fresh off her first number one single and already sounding like a grown woman in the booth and in an interview for that matter. So we caught up at Arista Records, and in literally just a few minutes, she talked about working with Dallas Austin, getting support from Queen Latifah, finding her voice, you know, all the good stuff. But so anyway, this is Monica, unfiltered, right before everything took off for her. And for me, just kidding, for her.
Monica interview 8895 at Arista.
Hi, Monica. I never get nervous. Never. I thank God for that every day because some of the things that Latifah sets up for me are dreams come true, but I never get nervous. I don't understand why I don't, but
Hey, don't fight it. All right, let's fill out. Okay, what's your birthday? When were you born?
October 24th,
All right, there you go. And what was the year? You can write it because it's all documented. We know you're young as it comes. Now, having said that, Monica, let's talk about the fact that you've kind of blown up as we speak. I mean, you're still in the middle of it. But can you believe what's happening?
I don't think so yet. I'm still working on believing it.
Talk to you about your feelings about what's been happening and the success and that stuff.
Basically, I can't do anything but thank the Heavenly Father that so many things went right for me. From meeting Dallas to meeting Latifah to Clive, you know what I'm saying? So that's a lot of things in one for just me, you know.
What's it like? I mean, what's it like to have songs on the radio and new song coming on the radio?
Well, actually, it doesn't seem like as long. The song was like number one for 7 weeks. It's been out for 15 weeks, and my album's been out for 3 weeks. So it's like it almost seems like it hasn't been there as long as it has, but it really has. And I'm really tired of it, and I turn it off every time I come on the radio.
No, you don't.
I truly do.
When was the first time you heard yourself on the radio?
Probably like a week after Don't Take It Personal came out.
And what was it like? Where were you? What were you doing?
Well, I was talking on the radio, and my mother actually had taped it. And I came on, she's like, listen. I listened, I was like, okay, thanks.
And then, you hear your song on the radio. I mean, now we know you heard it a million times. I've heard it a million times. I can turn it off.
Right. You're wrong for that.
Well,
You get out.
okay, I'm done. But like, gotta be a cool feeling when when you hear your song on the radio. I mean, or your music on the radio, because when this airs, it's gonna be with this and that, or it could be any other the other tracks. You never know, and you won't be sick of them. But is it true that you recorded like most of these songs were like when you were like 12 or 13?
Right. Recorded them in one night. Almost every song on the album.
In one night, all the songs? How did that happen? What was that night like?
Not like every song on the album, but each song took like a day.
How? What was so much better?
Basically because my memory is like, I think I have to say it's more my memory. If I look at a song one time, I remember it, but I may not remember it the next day. Like I remember it and be able to sing it. That's weird. Like I can remember it while I'm in the studio, and the next day that's it. It's like gone. I have to like look back over it. And once I went on tour, like I've been opening the TLC tour, that like kind of like made me know them, because I can go in, I can look at the song, I can read the backgrounds, go do all the backgrounds, come out, read the lyrics to the verses, go in and do them, because I come up with a lot of the concepts for the songs anyway, because they write my songs around my moods. So
Let's talk about the moves on this album. No. All right. Well, before we go on to like this and like that, I want to talk a little bit about just briefly about "Don't Take It Personal." I mean, the song, is huge, and I see why it took off. Do you know why? I mean, what do you think it was about the song?
I don't know why. I think it's because it's such a true statement too. Maybe that's what it was. I really don't know. I didn't know what it was gonna do. I was really surprised when people started telling me, Monica, we love your song. I was like tripping. I was like, oh, for real? You know, because I didn't know what it was going to do. And I didn't want to set some big expectations. And that if everything fell through, my expectations would have been so high that I'd have been so disappointed that, I wanted to just set grounds on keeping Monica okay. That's how I felt throughout the whole album. And then once the record started doing good, I was like, okay, now we got to make sure this album is as strong as the single so that I don't just fall through after one song, so.
Oh yeah, you didn't take too badly on that either. I mean, do you feel, can you relate to that girl? Don't take it personal. I mean, you said they're written around your moods. I mean, you know what your song's about. Are you like that?
Definitely.
Well, elaborate a little bit. What were you saying? And
Basically, not just definitely focusing on a boyfriend or your mate. It was like to anybody. When it's a day like that, it has nothing to do with the guy. Has nothing to do with just one person. It got something to do with everybody. I want everybody to get out. That's how it was, and that's the type feel I gave when I came in the studio that day.
you're like, look, don't take it personal, but I'm just want to get it over with.
Let's hurry
All
on.
right, you got a new single coming out, like this and like that. Again, I mean, it's strong song, lyrically especially. Give me a little insight, your story behind that track.
Mm, I think that song was basically built around being self-assured and strong once again. Because it was more like saying I didn't want to be stuck into a relationship I couldn't get out of. And that's how it was. And Mr. Malik was like there with us through the writing process. And we're label mates too, in addition to everything else. So it was like for us to get a chance to work with Dallas at the same time was so dope. It was like, because the whole song is talking about moving along, moving on. Okay, we've been through this. You didn't straighten it out. Now I'm going. So it's like,
I hear, I need some strong lyrics when I say that.
definitely. I meant every word.
I didn't know. I mean, and I mean this in the nicest. When I first heard music, I didn't know who was singing. I didn't know Monica. And when I found out how young you were, I couldn't tell. Have you heard that before? That the people didn't know how young you were when you were singing?
Hear it every day.
What do you think about that?
Basically, that's a big underestimation of what teenagers can do, but I feel that that's basically a compliment. I mean, a lot of times you hear some singers and you be like, oh, she about 12, 13. I didn't want my music to be like that because grown-ups don't want to be like, feel like they're listening to their daughter sing about leaving a guy. It's basically your childhood gets you ready for teenage years. Teenage years get you ready for adulthood. I feel like somewhere in the middle, you got to experience something. So that I did experience, I just sang instead of being the type to write a book about it or something like that. I sang about it. I put it into my lyrics.
How can you describe the music? I mean, you know new artists every time it comes out, and everyone's like, they love to label you. I mean, what have you been calling it?
I don't know what to call it. That's kind of crazy. I don't know.
I mean, it's definitely R&B.
It's R&B, but at the same time, it's got soul and it's got a blend of hip hop. But if you listen to a lot of my runs, a lot of my melodies, it's gospel.
Just the gospel feeling.
Definitely.
Obviously very important. I mean, all right, let's, how'd you hook up? I know that you're gonna be yanked out of here in any second, and I prepared for like an hour on these, so I'm gonna just like shoot questions out of nowhere. Talk about,
We'll just go through them at your own pace.
let's talk about working with Dallas. I mean, how'd you hook up with him in the first place?
Working with Dallas was great because he knows me. It's like, and especially 3 years into this now, it's so easy for us to just go in and do a song together now. It's ridiculous. But he met me through Kevin Wells. Kevin Wells saw me at a talent show, and he was managing ABC at the time. And Kevin Wells took me right back to Dallas. He put me in the studio the next day.
Now, did you know who Dallas was at the time? I mean, he was at the time, he was, young hotshot.
His name was heard of, but it wasn't like, oh, this is Dallas, which was better for us. We worked right off. It wasn't like I was so hyped on who he was. We worked.
What is it about it? I mean, because he seems to be hitting. I mean, you work with him. What's he like?
For me, he's like a father. Because that I didn't have, the voids that were in my life, he filled them. And it was more than just business. It was a personal relationship and a business one. We had the two separated so that nothing could come between us anyway. So him being so relaxed. When I met him, dreads, t-shirt, holy jeans, and socks on with one hole in them. That's how he was walking around the studio, and that gave me a real relaxed feeling too.
What's the first thing you sang for him? Or did you have to sing a song like
I sang The Greatest Love of All, the first verse, and he was like, I wanna.
to Dallas?
Mm-hmm.
Did you belt it out? Did you feel like you hit it? You know what I mean? You know, like sometimes when you're singing, you know, when you nailed it and you could sing.
Yeah.
Did you hit it?
But I give my all, so I feel like I try to do that every time. So.
All right, let's talk a little bit about Monica. You know, we're talking music, and now let's talk a little bit about you. Where you from? Where were you born? Where you grew up? That type of thing.
Atlanta.
What's up with Atlanta?
I'm gonna tell you what happened.
Come on.
See, we've always been there. Escape, all of us grew up together. So see, we always been there. But everybody used to use Atlanta as the country vacationing spot. So once they started moving their homes down there, the larger people from up here in New York moved their homes there and visited a couple of our churches and things. They were like, oh my goodness. That's when record deals started being given out. It was like we just didn't have our chance. We were considered country. We were considered the resting place. Then when entertainers started to move there, you know how you move to get away from everything. They started moving there and really started to realize, oh my goodness, why didn't I come down here earlier?
You were friends with this Safe? I mean, like literally went to school with Safe or no?
Oh, Tasha almost raised me. We were in the choir together. We were definitely around each other. I wasn't around Candy. Candy went to school near us, but I was, 9, 10 years old? So they were in high school almost. Like Candy might have been ninth grade or something, and I didn't get to know her until this year. But Tasha, Tamika, and other Tamika, yeah.
Jesus, unbelievable what's going on there. How you guys all knew each other.
Mm-hmm. And Outcast was school, the barbershop that did all my brother's haircuts. You know, they were.
Well, you said church. I mean, give me a little. I mean, you know, I know you were singing in church at like 4 years old. I mean, is that true?
Mm-hmm.
When did you first start singing?
It was like, I say about 5 when I first held my own whole song. You know, sometimes they let you do certain parts. But I actually took over my own song about then. And then I really, really started to bring the true Monica out when I started to lead with Tasha from Escape on a song called Safe in His Arms. So I feel like that was like the beginning of everything.
Well, what about in church? I mean, what is it about church that brings it out? I mean, you know, this singing, the vocally,
The realness in a church environment. And it keeps me real on the road, too. There's nothing, we're not going to let this go on because it's not Monica. You know what I mean? That comes from having strong backbones and being in church all the time.
But, you know, you're also one of those, I would imagine that when you were in the church, I mean, 'cause it seems like you were like a child prodigy. Like you were singing out, like at 5, they knew. Were they always pushing you to the front, the solo thing, or?
They didn't have to push me. I was a little entertainer from 3 on, you know? So it was like,
Okay. I'll just do one last question, then we'll get out of here.
Okay.
I miss you already. You know, I'm buds with Queen. That's why I gotta hook all my, you know, buds up. We're trying to promote this record there. All right, so you said you were an entertainer from age 3.
Yeah. Always entertaining. If it wasn't just making you laugh, it was everything else. You know, or just dancing. I think everybody used to think I was going to be a dancer, which was just the opposite of my plans. So, but I wasn't really making career moves at 5 either, so.
Last question, future. What's gonna happen? What would you like to see happen?
Moving right into film and modeling. I've been doing 17 magazine, and Queen Latifah's been helping me hook up my TV spots.
Really? More albums though? I mean, you gotta keep
Oh, definitely. More and more albums. Art, soundtracks, everything.
Listening back to this, I still can't believe she was 14 at the time. I mean, she already had the voice, the vision, the right people behind her, and like literally, she's talking about going #1, and you know, I don't know. Anyway, I interviewed her a few more times after this, and she even showed up at a couple industry events that I helped put together. So for me, these moments weren't just interviews, they're part of the come up, you know. So just stoked for Monica. So for more interviews like this, subscribe for more, you know, unfiltered conversations from the vault. I'm going to try and keep them coming. And there you go. So as I always like to say, press play.